People often say to me, oh, but Tate, you're lucky you were talented. Yeah, I was talented, but I didn't find out I was talented until I was disciplined. If I wasn't disciplined enough to train, I would have never seen my talent, because the guy with less talent than me, who trained harder than me, would have been kicking my ass. So you don't get to discover anything about yourself. You don't get to discover any of your genetic advantages, any of your talents. You don't get to discover anything about who you are as an individual, your spirit, your soul, what you're made of. Without discipline, you can't even discover anything.
I'm trying to convince you to do something you should already want to fucking do, which is win. And I can't seem to get you to take action and move and work. If I knew I was going to wake up broke, I wouldn't go to sleep. I don't want to wake up broke, ever. So if I feel like closing my eyes and having a little bit of rest is going to lead to me waking up broke, I ain't closing my eyes. Money must be made.
As a man, you can't say, I will perform when I feel good. It doesn't work that way. You have to be the kind of person who says, I perform regardless. I'm not saying I was happy. I'm saying I did exactly what I was supposed to do.
The reason you're not doing things is because you're remembering all of the times you failed at doing those things. Ignore it. Erase it. Just like on your phone, you delete the pictures you don't want. Inside of your mind, you must delete the memories you do not want. Delete the memories you don't want. Rewrite them. Every time I try, I win. Every time I try, I win. Every time I tried, I won. I win, I win, I win. Yep, I'll try this, I'll try this, I'll try this. Goes wrong, doesn't matter, I won. Goes wrong, don't care, never lost. Goes wrong, she wants me. Goes wrong, goes right. And people are sitting there furious with you. Why doesn't he quit like I did? Why doesn't he give up like I did? Why don't his setbacks bother him like they bother me? Why is he so confident? Why doesn't he care? We're trying to take this man down. He doesn't give a shit. Is he mental? Maybe, but he's winning. And you're a nobody because every single time God gives you a chance, you ignore it. Even worse, when you are given guaranteed wins, you do nothing. When winners like me, we attack with absolute vigor when the win isn't even guaranteed. I've tried harder for most things in my life with a fraction of a % of a chance for success than you've ever tried for anything with a guaranteed payoff. I used to go to work not knowing if I get paid. You are guaranteed to get paid. We are telling you it is guaranteed that there is a pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, but you can't seem to fucking finish the walk. You are a fuck up. You should look in the mirror and feel a deep sense of shame. You should think of all those days you have wasted, all those late mornings you laid in, all of the mistakes you've made across the last 2 years. Because if you made none of those mistakes and you tried instead and added it all together, you would be rich forever. You could be rich for the rest of your fucking life if you had just tried for the last 2 years. And you know what? The number one measure of a winner is self-reflection. When you're a winner, you analyze your performance in all things. If you're a grandmaster at chess, after you play a game, win or lose, you go through the game to identify mistakes, to see what you did right, to see what you did wrong. You talk to other grandmasters, you get their take on the position. If you're a fighter, you watch your fights back. And here you are living your life, you're not even fucking reflecting. Stop for a second and think about what I just said to you. All of the time you have wasted. If you would have just done what you knew needed to be done, you would be sitting in a completely different situation right now. Your bloodline would be financially free for eternity. Your great-grandchildren, who you may never meet, would know your name because you're the one who saved the family. Instead, you will die insignificant and be forgotten by your own blood because you are another pointless cog in the shit machine, which is your legacy, which is your bloodline. Your dynasty leads to nowhere because you wanted to fucking do nothing instead of try. And you come to me to motivate you. How the fuck can I motivate losers like that? What do you want me to say? I gave you a guaranteed win. I told you what was going to happen. I gave you a way to make the money. I came on here every day and told you to fucking work. It is your primary objective to remove friction on your journey, because the more friction there is on your journey, the more difficult it's going to be. We all understand physics. There are a lot of things competing against you, which makes it very hard for you to move towards the objectives, whether they are the macroeconomic conditions, whatever it is. There's a lot of friction moving in the opposite direction. Friction otherwise can be known as reality. Friction is reality. To say, I want to be paid $1 million to do a speech. Reality is going to slap you in the face and say, no, you're not worth $1 million. No one's going to pay it to you. So it is your objective to get to the money, and there's friction coming across the opposite direction. If you're trying to remove friction, do you want to be a rough surface or a smooth surface? We know the answer. Smooth. Ships are smooth. Dolphins are smooth as they go through the water. Planes are smooth as they fly through the air. You want to be as smooth as possible to remove friction on your journey to your objectives. So how do you become smooth? You become smooth by ensuring you interface with the world in the way that the world perceives you. The reason some men have aura, the reason some men are seen as smooth or cool or charming or funny, the reason they have these things is because they interface with the world the way they know the world perceives them. If you're in shape, big, tall, jacked guy, and you walk into the bar and you talk about making money and being a Chad, then the entire world views you that way. So you're now reciprocating to the world the way they view you. There is an interface which is understood. There's no disconnect in your world perception of yourself and the world's perception of you. And now you're seen as smooth and charming. If you do the exact same thing and talk about the exact same things, but you're a fat little midget, everyone's like, this guy's a fucking creep. This guy's a weirdo. You cannot have a disconnect. The disconnect in your interface with reality is what causes friction. That's what makes you a rough edge. You need to be smooth. So to be smooth, you need to understand very well how the world perceives you. The reason I annoy my enemies is because no matter what happens to me, I either don't give a shit or it didn't even happen. It didn't even happen. And that is why I frustrate everyone. No matter what they do to me, it doesn't matter, because I'm going to keep trying. And eventually I'm going to win. And when I pull something off, then I get to double down and super flex it in everyone's face. How'd you get that baddie? Every girl loves me. You had to go up to 1,000 girls to get that beautiful girl who loves you. Yeah, I had the choice between the 1,000 and I picked her because they all wanted me. Yeah, this is my money. This is my mansion. Here's my jet. Here's my yacht. Yeah, no big deal. You know, I just never lose. I'm just that guy. I never really lose. You know? You annoy the world by refusing to accept inside of your mind any of your previous losses ever. And the reason this annoys people is because most people's identity is shaped by all the times they have failed. They are depressed because they have failed. They are broke because when they tried to start a business, they failed. They don't want to get in the cage and fight because they lost the one time they tried. They don't want to go up to girls because the last girl rejected them. Most people's identity, most people's entire personality, their worldview is based on all of their failures. And they take all of those failures and they try and learn from them, but they end up thinking about them and they just think about all of their constant loss. The way you annoy people is by refusing to do that because it makes them very jealous of you. So you have to be the guy who goes up to a girl in a bar. Excuse me, you are beautiful. And her friends laugh in your face. Now, most men, after this happened, they go back to their friends and they go, I'm not good with girls. Girls reject me. And they take those losses and they make it their personality. And they stop going up to girls in general. And they lose. Whereas winners will go, after going up to those girls, will go back to their friends and say, they wanted me, but you know, I'm busy. They're busy. And people will be like, no, she rejected you. Nah. And your friends will be like, what's wrong with you? You're delusional. And you'll go up to 50 girls. And guess what will happen when you go up to the 51st girl? You'll bag a 10, a baddie. And all of a sudden you're winning. And people are sitting there going, whoa, the losses don't affect him. My losses are constraining my worldview. The parameters from which I operate within are all of my losses throughout my life. This guy doesn't care when things happen to him. He just ignores it, pretends it didn't happen, which is super annoying because I keep trying to remind him it happened and he keeps denying it, denying reality, and keeps trying anyway. And eventually, look, he's secured a baddie. He's pulled it off. I don't have a baddie. I'm thinking about my losses. He forgot about his losses instantly, and now he's got a baddie. How did you do that? And then they hate you, and then they get annoyed. That's basically just what I do. Your primary weapon as a man, it's brute force. You can get up, you can try, you can dedicate yourself, you can do it again, you can get hit, you can get hurt, you can get demoralized, you'll still get up, you'll still try. Your primary interface with the world as a man is brute force. So you must go through life saying, how do people see me? And I'm gonna make sure that I return the energy they expect to see. And if you don't like, after self-analysis, if you don't like how people are perceiving you, if you self-analyze and you're very honest and you write down all the good things about you, how people see you, how people perceive you, if you write it all down and you say, I don't like this image they have of me, then you have to change it. That's where the brute force comes in. And you can change it. But in the meantime, you need to be interfacing as frictionless as possible. Most of you are so busy looking out at the world, you have never sat and thought about how the world looks back at you. I have people email me saying, my girlfriend left me. And I look at them and I go, duh, fucking yeah, you're a loser. And it hasn't crossed his mind he's a loser. He's blaming the girl. It's never crossed his mind for a fraction of a second that he's competing with all the other men on social media and he's a loser. So he needed to interface with that girl in a different way. He would have to do different things than a boss could do. A boss could say, I'm gonna give you a child, I'm paying for your life, I'm a G. He can't say that. He has to identify how she views him and find another way to interface. He needs to say, you know what? I'm so glad I met you at the beginning of my journey because I'm not where I want to be yet. But when I get there, I know that so many women are going to be after me and I'm not going to be able to trust any of them. But you would have been with me the entire way. And that means that when we get there together, I know we're going to have something stronger than all these other people have. All these footballers, use me, Top G, Andrew Tate, all the girls want him, yeah. But you and me, we're going to build something so we're going to have a real love. The girls who want him are never going to love him like you loved me. That's how he should interface with his woman, by correctly identifying his status. But he didn't do that. It's people looking at you and expecting something, and you do it flawlessly. Flawlessly. So you need to really sit and analyze and think about how you are viewed. Wake up! Winners win, son. How do I balance 8 baby mamas, 7 businesses, 104 cars, 7 criminal complaints, houses in 15 countries? Welcome to life. Life as a man ain't easy. You're complaining about a little bit of training, working hard, and seeing your girlfriend. Welcome to life, sir. It is never going to get any easier, ever. The more successful you become, the more you have to deal with. So get used to it. There is no other justification for your monumental impotence and lack of action besides the fact that your DNA is literally enlaced with loserdom. I don't understand you. Worst of all, although you've done nothing but fuck up, the second best time to get started is now. I will say to you, you've missed a lot of chances, but there is still a chance left. Because if you get serious now and you start working now, and you can still save your bloodline, and you'll sit there and go, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And then 16 minutes after this, you're gonna be back on fucking Steam, downloading COD to run around and get shot in the fucking head like a dipshit. You're unsavable. And then, because I talked about reflection, I also have to reflect myself. Have I become elitist now? As a man who's climbed the mountain from the very bottom, from the lowest echelons of poverty, from more poor than most of you have ever been. There was no food in my fucking fridge. Most of you are starting higher than I ever started. And now I'm at the top of the mountain looking down going, do these people just deserve to stay on the cliff face waiting for an avalanche to annihilate them? Maybe they deserve boredom. Maybe poor people deserve to be poor. Maybe all the poor people who go, I don't want to be poor, I've tried hard, are fucking lying. Maybe they're just lazy, stupid, arrogant idiots that nobody could help anyway. And if you get to know these people, they're not even nice people. And they snake their friends, and they lie, and they cheat, and they're all just dickheads. Because good people who work hard seem to always win. Why is it when I meet a good person who listens and works hard, they always fucking win? By logical extension, anyone who has not won is not a good person who works hard. That is a logical conclusion. If every good person with a good work ethic ends up a winner, and you're not a winner, then you're not a good person with a good fucking work ethic. Somewhere along the line, there's something wrong with you. So gentlemen, I think the biggest mistake a lot of you are making is creating artificial friction with the universe. You must be aiming to remove friction. What you need to do at the end of this video is to sit get down to your fucking underwear and stand in the mirror and look at yourself and go, how do people see me? How old am I? I'm 24. Okay, so they don't see me as wise. Wise is for old men, but they do see me as energetic because I'm in good shape and I'm 24. I look energetic. I look hardworking. I don't look wise. So now when I go and meet someone to discuss money, I don't have to sit there and go, yeah, I've done this all before. I know how it works. I've been around the block. Because everyone's going to look at him and go, how much can you really know about life at 24? You're a kid. That's what I think. That's what the other people are going to think. Instead, you should sit there and say, I know what to do. And I'll tell you, there's a lot of people who try this, but nobody works as hard as me. I'm young. I heal like Wolverine. I don't need sleep. I run on pure adrenaline. When I dedicate myself to a task, I never fail. Now you get money because you've removed the friction. You've removed the friction by telling people, by projecting to people the perception they already have of you. Now we have a synergy. Now the interface has completed. You're saying the wrong things and doing the wrong things and creating friction, which is preventing you from getting the money. This is the master of self-analysis. You must self-analyze. I am very aware of myself. I know how I come across. I know in court I look like a criminal because when I'm on the street with my big diamond watch and my Bugatti and my 10 women, I look like a fucking criminal. I know. Doesn't mean I'm guilty, but I'm aware of it. I'd be a fool to not be aware of it. This is how you win in life. Primary objective, gentlemen. Establish a direct interface, a clean interface without friction, without lag between you and the outside world. This removes a lot of the blockers which are preventing you from achieving the success that you need. You identify the blockers and the friction by a self-analysis. Before you connect with the interface, before you connect with the simulation, you must understand how the simulation views you. Ask your friends, ask your girlfriend. If you had to describe me in 3 words, how would you describe me? Ask people. And you might be surprised by their answers. You might hear their answers and be like, you see me like that? I didn't know that. If you're really unhappy with the answers you get, then you need to change something. And this is how you win. Because there are tiers in life. The best life on the planet is a top tier male. No doubt about it. Top tier males have the best life on the planet. So that's your secret to endlessly attempting things in life. That's your secret to annoying your enemies. If you do that, you're also going to end up winning eventually and having a fantastic life. So let's make a list of all the things required for a man to be happy in the world today. 1, a battle, which means you need an enemy. And don't worry, the Matrix has given you an enemy. It's called the people in charge of your whole life. They hate you. So you already have an enemy. So the first thing a man needs is a battle. Let's call it a struggle. A struggle. You're not happy without struggle, guys. If you were born and you had endless money coming out your ass and you had to never earn to have anything, I guarantee you'd be miserable. The worst experience a man can possibly have is to be born with everything and not have to work for anything, because there's no light without dark. Being rich is only fun if you could talk about the times you were poor. Otherwise, it's shit. That's why all the people who are born into these banking dynasties are so miserable and try and inflict their misery upon you because they're sad inside and they hate humanity because they hate themselves. If they were from the streets and got to the top, they wouldn't hate humanity, they'd love humanity. But these people hate themselves deeply, so they hate you by extension. But a struggle allows you as a man to generate positive organs from the air. You can stand there and attack your enemy and instantly feel happy. So we're talking about how the world's a bad place. There's a few things for you to worry about. Not many, not very important, but just to name a few: the fact that they're not letting the farmers grow food, the fact that the currency's inflating, you're never gonna be able to buy a house, the fact that AI is gonna replace most of you, the fact that you live in dictatorships owned by traitors where they're gonna tax you to oblivion to send your money somewhere else to be laundered, the fact that the crime rate's increasing, the fact you can't find a woman worth having kids with, all these things, whatever, no big deal. But when you point these things out, there's one of two options. You can either resist and fight back, like we said in the first point we made, because there's something to fight for. Or you can give up and just go, oh, it doesn't matter. Be an incel, sit online. You can either fight back or give up. But I don't understand most people. Imagine giving up. Imagine it even being an option on the table. How could you not fight? Couldn't be me. I have to resist the enslavement. I am thankful to God for giving me this battle. There is nothing I'm more thankful for than God himself putting my brother and I in the position where we are damaging the Matrix in real time, because I know men like us don't give up. We have to fight. So, 2, bravery. If you have a struggle and you are brave, you will be happy as a man. It's not about always winning, guys. It is the bravery which gives you the positive organs. I don't believe in faking it before you make it. There is nothing fake about belief. You have to wait for the rest of the world to catch up with what you already know. You have to see through time, act accordingly, and prepare to told you so that eternally upsets doubters. Now, when I say this, I do not mean a bunch of clowns and you see them now, pretending they're a G when they're not. People without achievements pretending they're important when they're not. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you must believe all of the things you want to have are going to happen. You must see through time with a plan in place so you can see it all come true to be the man you want to be. I was not born a kickboxing world champion. I was not born internationally renowned. I was not born with money. I was not born with enough power to grab space-time by the throat. But I developed them all, and I decided I wanted them, and I saw them. It is impossible, and I have never in my life seen a man who eats right, goes to the gym every day, and trains hard not have a good body. The universe is extremely giving. It will give you anything you want. I've never seen somebody who works hard, who's in the right networks, who's paying attention. I've never seen somebody who dedicates himself in the gym and eats right, who is not in fantastic physical condition. It's impossible. You can have anything you want. All you have to do is make a plan and see it. Guys, if you're ever feeling sad, do these things. You'll be happy. I promise. You can fight evil or you can run from evil. The problem is, evil is very, very fast.
It's everywhere and you can't escape it.
But it's fine. If you have these things, it's great. It's hilarious. So you need to understand that evil's coming. So you need to prepare for it. And you prepare for it through positivity. God is light. Positivity is how you resist what they want you to be. They want you depressed and sad. Please understand, one of the main reasons they attack my brother and I is because our influence inspires bravery amongst men. We make you laugh, we make you brave, we make you courageous, we make you unafraid to say what you think, even if there are consequences. That's what they're afraid of. They want you scared, they want you depressed, they want you sad, they want you meek, quiet and mild. They want you sitting there. That's what they want. You are truly disciplined when you have so much belief in the importance of your actions that the rest of the world feels like an unnecessary distraction. Why would I want to have fun when I can work instead? I can be proud of myself for doing what was hard as opposed to entertained by doing what was fun. Proud is larger than fun. People like this are impossible to beat.
And also, let me tell you, people who don't see that are impossible to reason with. There are people who be like, oh, that sounds miserable. He just works, doesn't have fun. You don't understand the feeling of making $100 million. You don't understand the feeling of buying items where there's only 30 of them in the world and no one else can have them. You don't understand the feeling of doing things no one else can do. So keep your fucking concerts, keep your festivals. You could say, oh, they don't go to concerts, they don't do this, they don't do all the stuff that people think is fun. But giving into impulse as opposed to being disciplined does not lead you to a space of happiness like chasing fun does.
And you're right. Fun is not as fun as struggle. Fun is not as fun as feeling brave. Fun is not as fun as having a vision and making it come true. Fun is not as fun as victory. And
nothing's as fun as victory.
Nothing's as fun as victory.
Do you think Napoleon had fun campaigning in the fucking cold? No. Because one man chased victory.
So when you're going to this Coachella shit, or you're going to the club, or you're chasing fun, where's the victory in going to the club? There's no victory. So fun isn't fun. And the fact that you think it's fun shows you're a dipshit. Because these things are fun, because these give you masculine positive organs. But please understand that losing hope is fatal. Hope is a requirement for success. My whole life was built on hope. You do not become a 4-time world champion without it. You cannot put yourself through the training required, through the sacrifices and pain, unless you believe and hope that you're going to win, that it's going to pay off in the end. You must believe in yourself. You must believe. Another thing that's going to give you a lot of motivation and power as a man is helping other people.
Yeah.
It's inside of the masculine imperative to provide and to protect. If I love a woman, I want to protect her. I want to give her things and I want to make sure she is safe. This is how I feel naturally. It's my natural inclination. For the same reason, because of my monumental power and my monumental influence, I feel obligated to help the world to the best of my ability. Another thing you should be doing is trying your very best to help people. to give to other people. You have enough money to give some away. You have enough time to take 10 minutes out your day and help somebody who is worthy. Don't be used by users and losers, but you have enough time. When we talked earlier about how you have to be impossible to hurt by bullets because you're promising to exact revenge, that is installing software that allows your hardware to operate differently than as opposed to you being afraid of the bullets. So your mindset, your mentality, how you view the world is the software which programs your hardware, and it's extremely important that you do not believe in things that take away power from you, and you extract positive organs from the universe by eternally struggling in battles which allow you and your bloodline to ascend to the highest possible echelons of masculine achievement. When you're doing this, you'll automatically and naturally become an enemy of the system, an enemy of the matrix, because the matrix wants to keep you suppressed and oppressed. It wants you to keep you depressed with an empty mind so that they can install the slave programming at will and instantly change it. From COVID to Ukraine to climate change to whatever they want you to shove up your ass, they want to make sure your mind is empty so they can put it on the news and you instantly comply without questioning them. You will do that if you're depressed and you're afraid of fighting back. It's very difficult to have an opinion which requires you to battle the mainstream consensus if you're afraid of a fight. If you're too scared to fight, you're not gonna have opinions which go against the mainstream consensus because you can't defend them. If you're too weak or too depressed or too sad to fight, once again, you will instantly swallow the shit sandwich that they give you. You will eat the bugs. They want you sad, which is why it's very important that you are happy. So I want you guys to understand something very pertinent about the world you're currently living in. The Matrix does not loudly announce its losses, but the losses do happen. Just because they won't tell you they're happening, why would they? Because it will inspire more resistance. It doesn't mean they're not happening at all.